and every day. So bring the hands to the heart. Good morning. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Take a lift to the sky. Reach and lengthen. And bring the hands by the hips. So welcome to strengthen, stretch, and release class practice with Gary. So take the knees up, the height of the hips, kind of working to lift. Good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a beautiful morning. Awakened to a bright sunny sky. Clouds are coming out, so I decided to wear white to brighten our day this morning. Hands up underneath the chin. Take the elbows out, the shoulder blades in. Kind of really work those shoulders as we work to extend and release. So you're going to work the core muscles and the hip girdle up through the back and up into the shoulder. So the hip girdle includes the muscles that support the hip all the way up through the back to the shoulders. So the knees up once again. Rising up with a lift up and forward fold. Nice forward fold. Easing up. I'm going to turn to face you. So turn so that you can see half lift. Hands right below the knee. Ease down, touching down and swing up. Let's do that again. That felt really nice. Soft knees this time. Pull back and down into sort of a supported chair. Supported through our body. Half lift. The hands come right below the knee. Flatten the back. Lengthen through the spine. Lift through the hip. Push through the feet. Lift with the hip to lengthen the legs. A long, extended half forward fold. Extended forward fold. Easy chair. We come forward with the arms and the shoulders pull back. Nice and easy with the hands. And we find that prayer chair. Honoring ourselves to stay with the practice. And lift and extend. Reach up to the sky and then open out and down. Forward fold. Half lift. Easy chair. Just a beautiful little chair flow. Come on to balancing chair. Hands to heart center. Rolling up to the balls of the feet. Lift the heel and knees down. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Go ahead and come down as low as we can comfortably go with no discomfort in the knees. Nice. And then push through the heel and rise up as we lift up and lengthen up. Reaching up and then forward fold. Half lift. Easy chair. Prayer chair. Extend our chair. Nice extension through the shoulders and the arms. Kind of working those arms up and back. The hips pull back and down. Kind of get really low with the bottom of the feet. Pressing deep into the mat. And wiggle the toes. Nice. And then flying chair, we wing back with the arms and take a bow with soft knees. Let the torso lie on top of the thigh. Feel the pull back and stability of the body as we move with this practice. One more time. Lift and extend, reach and lengthen, forward fold. Strengthening, stretching, and releasing as we go. Half lift, lift with the hip. Nice flat back, lengthen through the spine. Easy chair, find our easy chair. Nice prayer chair. Find our extended chair with the arms extending through the elbows. Nice stretch. And then flying chair, wings back with the arms flowing back, palms facing down, and the hips pulling back and down. Nice. Ease up with an inhale and bring the hands to the hips. Lateral lunges. So we take the feet out. The feet are turned out with the toes pointing to the corners of the room. And we're just going to come into a nice squat. So we like to get these knees to move freely and the hips to move freely and easily to strengthen through the core and through the hip girdle. So we ease down into a squat. Nice and easy. Rise up with a 5-pointed star. Nice. Elbows come to the rib cage as we squat. Do a nice, easy moonflower flow. This is called the moonflower. As we ease up with the arms, stretch up, lengthen up and extend up through the bottom of the feet, to the arms, to the hands, reaching long, the core is drawn in, and the hands catch the hip. Do a little lateral movement, laterally. Knee moves in the direction of the ball of the feet. Nice. Moving freely and easily. Maybe we want to step those feet out a little farther and just, there should be no discomfort in the hip girdle. This is just a nice strengthening and stretching routine. Lateral lunges. We can come really low if we'd like to go. Nice. Walk those feet out. So the knees support stacking over the ankle and the ball of the foot on each side. Nice. Go ahead and take the feet in and take the feet a little closer together and then turn the toes so they face Gary. Bring the hands up underneath the chin. Elbows pull out as the shoulder blades pull in. Reach and extend. Hands behind the back, a little chest opener. Interlace the fingers, steeple the index fingers, pull back and down. Draw that belly in, and then hip hinge forward. Bowing forward. Nice. Yes, yes. How low can we go? As low as we'd like to go today. This is stretching through the hamstrings. Big hamstring stretch, awakening those hamstrings to say good morning to Gary. Arms lift up to the sky. Nice. And release and lift. Find that those arms lifting and extend to that five-pointed star. Hands catch the hip. Find the hip crease and fold one more time, pulling the hip back, keeping the hips stacked over the heels, taking our bow. Yes, come on a little lower. 3 times is the charm. We're going to do this once again. Oh yeah, feel that. Hello. Listen to the body. Give those muscles time to lengthen. Strengthening, lengthening our muscles, and releasing. Any tightness, any tension in our bodies this morning? Come on up one more time. Hands come out, hands come back. Take our bow, easing forward, easing forward. Release the hands and bring the hands to the shin. And slide the hands down the shin towards the ankles. Now the toes are still turning forward, pressing firmly in the bottom of those feet. Lift with the hip, lengthen through the back of the legs. I feel that all the way down. Hamstrings and the glutes, the hamstrings, back of the calf, all the way to the Achilles tendon, all the way down the back of the legs. Hello. Hello, good morning. This is a morning, good morning, rise up class. All the way up with an inhale, lift and extend, and bring the hands to heart center, and then step it in. So we're going to learn to breathe. So bringing breath into our bodies strengthens the core by strengthening the diaphragm with full diaphragmatic movements. The diaphragm sits right at the top of the belly, right there at the rib cage, and presses down on the inhales and relaxes on the exhale. So we bring ourselves to mountain pose and take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale through the nose. A little Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Inhale and release. If we like to roll up to the balls of the feet and lift on the inhale, and release the heels down on the exhale. Really expand on the inhales, expanding the belly, and releasing the belly on the exhales. One more time. Notice the belly expands, rib cage opens, and the heart lifts. Take a nice expanding 3-part breath. Really expanding through the chest, from the belly all the way up to the chest on the inhales, and releasing like an ocean wave down the body on the exhalation. Beautiful Ujjayi breath. Now let's breathe equally. 4 inhales, 4 count inhale, 4 count exhale. Inhale and exhale. The top of the mat, ankles hip bone distance apart, rising up with a lift up. Kind of lift through the heart and reach with the chin into extended mountain with the arms lifting and extending. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, touching down. Half lift, lift with the hip, hands come below the knee. Ease down with the hands and step back with the right foot, back with the left foot, and come to plank. Then lift to downward facing dog, drawing the ears between the arms as we lift the hips up and back. And take that little walk in the park with those legs. Nice. Walking the dogs, taking those heels up and down, alternating. We can even take one foot up and lengthen with the leg up and do 3-legged downward facing dog. Lower down, do the other side, left leg reaches back, lifting up and back. And then come to forward fold, come to plank pose, inhale forward, chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, lifting through the hip and through the shoulders, and upward facing dog, facing forward on the tops of the feet, with the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Let those hips dip just a little, and then flip the toes, lift the hips up and back, and take a nice lift with the right leg. Open the right leg up to the side, bend the knee, swing the leg up, the knee down, swing it forward to the right hand, and come to pigeon. A nice, beautiful pigeon pose today to awaken and open through the hip. So we bring the elbows down. It's the Sphinx pose. Oh yeah, let's work this pose. So we pull the hips back and down behind the leg. Make sure there's no discomfort in the knee. The right knee can be in line with the shoulder, and the right ankle can be pulled back at a bit of an angle. We're going to do an extended pigeon, downward facing pigeon with the arms extending out and down and the forehead coming down, and kind of lay out over that leg, feeling the pinch at the hip, feeling a nice stretch at the hip. Just relaxing, just releasing that hip. Give it a moment. We're warm now, so our movements should allow us to stretch through that hip. Nice. And then walk the hands in. Position the hands right up underneath the shoulders. Now remember, we're working through the hip, and we're stabilizing and strengthening the hip girdle, but also stretching to the full available range of motion. So work this pose, pulling the hip back and down. The hip pulls down, almost touching the mat. We embrace the core by drawing in the belly, embracing the core muscles, the quadriceps, the transverse abdominis, and all the muscles in the quarter, drawing the belly in, and we rise up with the shoulders pulling back and down, with the heart pushing forward and lifting forward and up. And then take the back leg, the extended leg, and kind of begin to work that leg to add range of motion through our knee. Nice. And we can take the right hand up underneath the face, right up underneath the midline of the body, and reach back with the left hand. Find the heel, so you can touch the heel. Yes, see if you can reach to the top of the foot. Oops, that's a lot of work, isn't it? All right, that's okay. So we take and ease the heel towards the glute. Turn the hip to rotate forward and square up with the front of the room. This is pigeon pose. One leg pigeon, king pigeon, ekapada, rajakopotasana. Nice. And ease down with the leg and bring the hips back into position. We can try one more variation here. Bringing the knee up, bringing the heel up, and then reaching back to catch the top of the foot. If we can catch the top of the foot, rotate the hand to the inside of the foot and lift and rotate with a little twist. Just a little twist, still pressing through the right hand and the right shoulder, stabilizing through the hip and stretching. Nice, it's a beautiful stretch. Pigeon stretches are wonderful for the hip girdle and stabilize the core. And release and rotate. So we find our way out of this by positioning the hands up underneath the shoulders, curling the toe up under of the left leg, lift up with the hip and rise up with the right leg, reaching and extending, and then take it down, coming forward into chaturanga, easing down, coming forward, upward facing dog or cobra. We can always have the hips down if we need to take pressure off the back. Flip the toes, lift the hip up and back, nice. This time the left leg's going to lift, take and lift and extend. Open the hip, bend in the knee. Send that leg up, rotate through, swing through with the left knee coming to the left hand, and ease that knee down at an angle with the knee positioning in line with the shoulders and the hand. Ease the hip back and down, kind of walk that right foot back, crawl it back, bring the hip down. We're really stretching through the hip today, through all the muscles in the hip girdle, opening the hip out to the side. Now we take our gaze forward, lifting the heart, reaching with the chin, easing down into Sphinx pose, finding our Sphinx pose. Beautiful. We can extend our pigeon. Kapotasana is extended pigeon, Utthita, extending and releasing through the hip with the arms and the leg, reaching back and really getting that nice pinch in the hip. No discomfort, just stretch. Just stretching, no discomfort in that hip girdle. We're giving it time to stretch and release all the connective tissues, all the fascia, stabilizing the joint, putting a little pressure on the joint, but not too much. Building strength and stability into our body. Strengthening, stretching, and releasing with this practice. Nice. Hands come in. Let's try the other side, bending in the right knee, working the heel to the glute. Kind of work up and back, in and out with the heel. Now we can take the position of the left hand up underneath the face, and then reach back with the right hand, catching the top of the heel or the top of the foot, whatever we can reach for, and then ease the shoulders forward, squaring their shoulders back up with the hips pulling down, feeling that big stretch in the quadriceps on the right leg. Nice. And bring the heel towards the glute. Nice stretch. Beautiful. King dancer. King pigeon. One leg king pigeon pose. Not king dancer. It's a different pose that's coming up. Nice. One leg king pigeon. Nice. And we can take, if we want to, release and position to that other position. So we bend in the right knee, reach back with the hand, catch the top of the foot, nice, square up with the shoulders, and walk the hand across the inside of the foot and ease up, facing the side, rotating up. And if we feel comfortable, lifting and reaching with the hand up to the head and stabilizing through the hip and gazing to the side. That works fine. And release. Nice. And bring the hands back down. Curl the toe up under. Lift the hip up and back. Take that leg to send it up. Rising up. Lengthening up. Come forward with the foot. Come forward with the shoulders. Chaturanga. Up to the tip of the toes. Easing down. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Take a nice squat, pulling the hips back towards the heels. Lengthening through the upper body from the hips to the hands. Pushing the hands towards one end of the mat and pushing with the heels. Try to tear that mat apart. And then pull the hip back. And then rising up to toe tips. Push through the heels. Get that nice long stretch down the back of the legs and downward facing dog. Beautiful. Nice. We can take a nice hop to the top of the mat if we'd like. A little springboard, bending in the knees. Soft jump or take baby steps up to the top of the mat. Half lift, forward fold, rising up, lifting up, and reaching up. Beautiful. Nice. The next series we'll do is a lunging series to really build some strength and stability into our bodies. Facing the top of the mat. Take the hands to heart center. Rise up with the arms, lift up with the heart. Forward fold. Half lift, hands slide up the shin. Right below the knee, maybe on top of the thigh if we need. But extend through the elbows and flatten the back if we can. With a nice lift through the hip. Find the easy chair. And this prayer chair. Extend our chair and flying chair once more. Rising up with the right leg. Easing up with the right knee. Flying lunge, ease back with a step back into a high lunge. Hand comes on top of the thigh. Let's work this pose. Really building strength and stability into our hip. We take the right foot back, walk it back, wiggle back to the ball of the foot. Take the left knee forward over the ankle. Rise up with the arm, lift with the arm. Pull the shoulders back and down, goalpost arms to find that open-hearted lift. And a little back bend, just a little back bend with a lift of the heart and a reach with the chin as we take the gaze up and reach up with the hands to hold the sun. Nice, beautiful. And bring the hands down, frame the forward foot as we come down into a deep low lunge. Work that foot back, even deeper back and lower the knee. Find the little runner's lunge flow, easing forward and back. So we position the hip so the hip stretches back towards the heel, coming forward, and the knee stacking over the ankle into this runner's lunge. Now I have a block convenient. If we need a block, we can always park a block up underneath the hip as we ride down, kind of working back into this bowing lunge. Bowing lunge, just kind of rounding the back gently, kind of a little flexion in the back. to get that nice. And we feel the hamstrings. The hamstrings are saying hello. Once again, the back of the leg working through the hip girdle. And we can lift the toe and work through the back of the leg. Get that hip to come down. If it will come down, easing down, nice and easy, stabilizing the hip girdle. Maybe using a block up underneath the hip if we need. Nice. Finding our way forward, reaching forward. And then plant the hands down. Curl the toe up under the right leg. We're going to lift and extend through the standing leg. We're going to lift, lift, lift with the hip, keeping the hip square, facing down. Right leg extends, lift it up a little higher. Go ahead and bring the hands to the heart, flatten the back. Nice. Oh yeah, this is a lot of work. This is warrior 3. So we reach and extend, nice and long. Flying warrior, the arms wing back, easing back, rising up with the right knee as we lift up into standing mountain on one leg. Nice. And ease down. Nice, beautiful. Shake those legs out. Man, that was some work. Let's do that on the other side. Catch our breath, deep inhale. Release to the exhale. One more time, deep inhale. Release with the exhalation. Beautiful. Find the top of the mat. Here we go. Inhale, lift, all the way up, rising up, lifting up with the heart, reaching with the chin. Hold the sun. Hands come up, facing in. Reach up with the hands open nice and wide. Splay those fingers nice and wide. Forward fold, touching down. Half lift, lift with the hip. Stabilize. Remember, we can always position hands anywhere, but extending through the elbow with a nice flat back, making those triangles with our body for stability. Lifting through the hip. And we find our easy chair. Nice, easy chair. And our prayer chair, our extended chair, and our flying chair. Winging back with the arms, pushing down to the bottom of the, really stabilizing through the body. Rising up with a lift of the left leg this time. And step back into a flying lunge. We step back and we float back. We fly back with the arms, winging out, and a little flying lunge. Let's bring the hands to the thigh and work this hip. Really lowering the hip, the height of the right knee, pushing down with the hip, lengthening through the back leg, finding that nice high lunge, alanasana or crescent lunge as we lift the heart and reach with the chin, gazing up to the sky like we're holding the sun. Yes, pulling the shoulders back and down. Goalposts. Let's do the goalpost just to feel that open heart and stretch and lift with the inhale. Nice. Reach and lengthen. Find this forward fold, folding over the leg, over top of the thigh with hands coming down, using blocks as we need. Blocks are really handy here, up underneath the shoulders if we need them, and ease down with the back knee. Let's work into this hip stretch, pushing forward and pulling back. Nice. Stretching, strengthening, stretching, and releasing all of the muscles in the hip, all the connective tissues. Nice. Beautiful. Stabilizing through the hip girdle. Really good thing to do. And we can ease forward. Remembering the knee stacks over the ankle. The toes are pointing straight forward. We're lengthening through that back leg. If we want to work it back a little more with the toe, wiggling and lowering the knee and get that nice stretch of hip, pushing hip towards the heel of the right leg. Kind of work the heel down. Really feel that work in the hip girdle. Nice. Stabilizing through the spine, embracing the core muscles and lengthening through the spine to stabilize through our body. Core stability, strength and stability. Core, hip girdle, and up through the chest. Nice. Easing back into the runner's lunge. Find that runner's lunge. Feeling this in the hip right here. Little pinch at the hip. That's okay. Just kind of work it gently, easily, allowing the stretch to release the tightness and tension, to let those muscle fibers lengthen, and let the connective tissues, the fascia, they grow overnight. Let those release. It's like a spider web or cellophane. Holds everything together, and releasing the fascia allows the muscles to glide freely throughout our body and the body to move freely and easily. We can do that walk back if we choose. This is just an option. Only an option as you wish, easing back and down, getting that nice stretch. There should be no discomfort in the left knee. Always modify with blocks or support if there's pressure and discomfort in the knee. Walking forward, reaching forward, walking forward. Finding that lift at the hip, lift and stabilize with the hands. Find our hands rising to the heart as we stabilize and lift through the standing leg. Keep that back as flat as we can make it, easing back with the arms into our flying warrior. Hands can come to the heart. We can extend forward into full warrior and then fly into flying warrior. Rising up with a lift up of the left leg. Come on through with it. It's a lot of work. And ease up with the knee. And release down. Let's do one more forward fold. All the way up, lifting up, reaching up. Exhale, release. Nice. Half lift. Lift at the hip. Ease down into forward fold. Plant the hands. Step back with the right leg and the left leg. Lowering the knees one at a time. Hands up underneath the shoulders. Begin to stretch. We've strengthened. Now we begin to stretch and release. Rounding into a cat stretch. Inhale and gazing forward into a cow pose. So we move the body fully. The spine articulates. So we're moving through the spine, pulling the hip towards the hands, easing forward with the inhale as we round the back and the tip, rock the hip and pull the hip towards the hands. The tailbone pulls to the back of the thigh. We take the chin to the chest, rounding through the spine. And on the inhale, soft elbows as we come forward with the heart, reach with the chin and rock that hip. So the hip turns up with the tailbone turning up to the sky. Exhale, release. Really work to warm that spine. Yes. Nice. So we're going to work through the upper body as well with this next flow, with rounding of the back and then twisting into the movements. It's called thread the needle. And we move to the rounded cat stretch and we inhale into cow pose. Nice. So the hands are up underneath the shoulders and the knees are up underneath the hip. We pull back into a supported child's pose with the shoulders lifted. Feel that hip stretch. Feel the knees and the ankles. The big toes touch the knees about the width of the shoulders or the width of the hips, between that range. Coming up, so the right arm's going to reach out and we're going to bring the arm up underneath the body 3 times. Palm faces up. Rising up with a reach up with 1 time to the sky. 2, really rotate through the twist. Rising up, lifting up, rotate through with the shoulders. Send that arm through and send that arm and shoulder down and the side of the head comes down. Reaching forward with the left hand, reaching really long with our arms. Nice. Oh yeah. Twisted child's pose. Now the hips can stack over the knees or we can pull back and down as we choose. Just depends upon the amount of practice we've done with this pose. The more practice we do, the easier it is to pull back with hips into that child's pose stretch. If we'd like to have some fun today, and it's just an option, so don't feel like this is something you have to do, but bring the left hand in front of the face, lift the left hand to the hip, kind of twisting, and rising up with the left arm up towards the ceiling. Now we're twisted in the thoracic, in the upper body, in the chest, and the back. So there's a spinal twist beginning at the belly button, up through the shoulders, and rising up with the hand. Go ahead and take the hand down, stabilize right in front of the face. The left hand comes down right in front of the face. The right arm is still passing through the eye of the needle, and we extend the left leg. Nice. Just kind of reach out with the leg. It's okay. We can do that with stability. We've got stability in the hand, shoulder, and the foot. A little less stable is the lift of the leg and a reach with the toe. Now we can reach and lengthen with the leg and stabilize through the arm and the shoulder and the side of the head. No pressure on the head. We can actually lift the head. Now we can lift the arm if we choose, just for fun. Just really coming to this extended balance. It's a lot of fun. Allows us to focus our awareness and our attention on this stretch and lengthened pose. We could hold this forever if we wanted, but we won't. Ease the hand down, ease the knee in, and unthread that needle coming on up. And find our child's pose once again. Nice, relaxing child's pose. That was a little work, so let's give ourselves a little break. Take time to relax and release. Little yin and yang. The yin is the relaxation, the yang is the work portion of each movement in the series. Coming forward with the inhale. So we're going to do the other side. So position the hands and the knees. Knees right up underneath the hips, hands right up underneath the shoulders, stacking our joints. We can stabilize with a nice flat back and neutral spine. Left arm comes out. And we can kind of gaze that if we choose, and bring the hand up underneath the body 3 times up to the sky. 1. Nice rotation, nice stretch through the shoulder. And one more makes 3. And then send that arm through. The shoulder comes down, the side of the head comes down, extending the right arm forward, reaching long with the arm. Both arms are extending. Right arm is extending forward, left arm is extending back. Left arm is extending through. And we can play with this pose. We bring the hand in, right hand comes in front of the face, and we lift and bring it to the hip. Lift and extend, rotating and extending. Really work to stack the shoulders, reaching up with the hand. Reach long with the arm. Get those shoulders to rotate through with a twist through the chest and the spine. Nice spinal twist. Big toes are touching. The knees are about hip bone distance apart, and the hip is pulling back and down. Ease down with the hand, and then extend the right leg. Kind of work it out. Just extend it out. Nice. Push the ball of the foot, lengthen through the leg. See how stable. Focus on a non-moving point out to the side. Lift the leg. Point the toe, open the hip, rising up with the leg, reaching up long and strong, and ease up with the right arm. Beautiful. Reach and lengthen. Nice. And there we go. Coming on down with the hand, coming in with the knee, and finding our way to that child's pose. Rotating, lifting, and pulling back. Find our child's pose. This time the forehead comes down. Big toes touch, and maybe take the hands down, beside the feet. Turn the palms up, and open the shoulders out and down. Really stretch across the back. Feel the breathing through the back of the shoulders, down the spine, into the rib cage. Enjoy that movement. One more deep inhale, release with the exhale. Notice the relaxation that comes to the body on the exhalation. Really sink deep. Release completely. Relax and let go. Go and take the arms forward, reaching forward, clawing the hands forward. Inhale forward, kneeling plank, easing down. Nice. And coming on down to the belly. Dhanurasana, bow pose. Bending in the knees, reaching back with the hands. We did some warm up earlier. We're going to try to do this. So we take the hands back, reaching for the ankles, and then walk to the top of the foot. Now walk those knees together, nice, so that the knees extend from the hip. Lift the heart and keep the legs down just for a moment. Take the heart forward, gaze forward. Lift with pressure in the top of the foot into the hand to lift the shoulders back. Get that little crescent shape with the body. Dhanurasana is a bow. So we're going to make a little bow with our body by lifting the shoulders, pushing the top of the foot into the hands, lifting with the knees a little higher still. We're balancing on the abdominal cavity, kind of working the hip up and lift up with the heart and ease down. Whatever our center of gravity is, Release those legs and take a little break. Hands come underneath the face, overlapping. Turn the head to one side. Kind of releasing through the neck. Allowing ourselves to release. Begin to relax and release. Really stretches, final stretches to strengthen and lengthen. Lift, open the chin and rotate to the other side, rotating to face the other wall. Ease the hand down, the head down on top of the hands, rotating the head through. And then come forward. Hands swing up underneath the shoulders, elbows pull to the back of the room. Big toes touch, knees extend from the hips and lift up with an inhale. Shoulders pulling back and down on that lift with the hip and the shoulders, pulling back into child's pose. Coming forward with an inhale, curl the toes up under. Let's do 10 push-ups. We did this the other day and I felt it was really good. We're going to do chaturanga push-ups. We take the hips down, lower than the shoulders. We ease forward and ease down with the elbows by the rib cage. Push up, lifting up, no lower than the elbows by the rib cage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more makes 10, and then lift the hip this time, drawing the ears between the arms, and take the walk with the dogs, bicycling the heels. Walk the hands back towards the feet, coming to a deep squat. Nice. Ease down with the hips towards the heels. If we can come down to this deep squat with the heels lifted and balls of the feet and the knees turning forward. Open the knees so the heels touch. Finding a crow pose as we choose. And this is a balance pose on the hands. So hands to heart center. We ease down with a hip hinge down, pulling the hip back and down towards the heels. Pull the elbows in to the shin. Let the hands drop in right up underneath the shoulders and splay those fingers wide apart. Make a big starfish with both hands. The elbows position in line with the shoulders and the wrist. Rocking forward and easing forward. Keep those elbows pulling in and keep the inner thighs pulling together, rocking forward and lifting one toe, maybe both. And easing back when we're ready into crow pose. Nice. And find our hips pulling up as the heels push down. Shake and ragdoll. Let it all go. Yeah, all the tension, all the tightness. Let it go. Rising up with a lift up. Reaching up with the arms and bring the hands back to heart center. Finding our king dancer pose. We take and bring the hands to the hips. Stabilize in mountain pose. Take the right arm out and bend in the right knee. Reach down to catch the top of the foot and then ease the hand to the top of the foot. And there we go. Bring those knees side by side, pushing through the standing leg. Julia loves this pose, so I love to do king dancer's pose. Arms extend straight up from the shoulders, and we take our bow, picking a point of focus to concentrate on a non-moving point. As we bow, taking our king dancer, dancing Lord of the Dance, Natarajasana. Nice. And ease up with the lift up. Bring the knee forward, bring the arm up, bring the arms and the hands and the legs down, finding the other side. Hands catch the hips, stabilize in mountain pose, shoulders are pulling back and down. Get that nice strength and stability from the bottom of the foot to the crown of the head. Then take the left arm out, bending in the left knee, reaching back, catching the top of the foot, and then work those knees side by side Lift through the standing leg. Lengthen. Little quad stretch going on there on the left side, and take the arm up, or whatever side it is, and take our bow, easing forward, rising up, lifting up with the toe taking our bow. Nice. And come through with the knee, rising up with the knee and the arms, and there we go. Let's do one more balance, and then we'll come to our final stretches and our relaxation. Right knee lifts, open the door, and close the door. Nice. Lift. We're using external rotators to move freely through the hip. Lift the right knee. Psoas engages to lift the knee. Height to the hip. Higher the better. Open and touch down. Open and close. Externally rotate, opening the knee out to touch on each side. One more time. This right leg lifts, opening, touching. Bring it in. Step it up to the calf. Hands come up underneath the chin. Elbows pull out, shoulder blades pull in, long and strong through the shoulders, holding our balance. Finding our best expression of our tree today. Trees are super important for our planet, for the earth. They change carbon dioxide into energy and release oxygen for us to breathe. All life requires trees. Lift the knee, catch the ankle, bring it up and in if we can. Go ahead and take our balance pose. Beautiful. Hands come down, rising up through the torso, up to the sky, rising up through our chakras, our wheels of energy from the bottom of the hip up to crown of the head. Nice. And then hands to heart center. Lift the knee, rotate through, find the other side. So balance is about strength and stability. Unless we have vertigo, inner ear problems, it's all about focus of our awareness, about strengthening through the hip girdle and the legs and the core. Lift the left leg. Nice. Externally rotate, touch down. Step it in. Nice. Bring it up. Hands up underneath the chin. Elbows pull out, shoulder blades pull in. Feel that strength that comes through the shoulders, down the spine as we lift from the bottom of the foot up through the body, strong and tall. Nice. Lift the knee, catch the ankle, catch it if we can, and really the shin more than the ankle, not putting pressure on our joints. So catch the shin and draw it up and in. Nice. Find our balance, focus, hold it. Yes, we've got this. Nice. Bring our hands to the chakras, up through the body. That the energy rises up through our body, up to the sky. Kundalini rising. Yes. Nice. Hold it. Beautiful. Nice. Lift the knee, rotate forward, hands to heart center. Nice, beautiful. Nice. We're coming down to the mat, easing up, forward fold, and catch the mat with the hands, step back with the right foot, back with the left foot, and find our seated pose, easing into a seated pose. Legs are crossed. We can ease over to one hip to find seated. Going to do a little shoulder work. Hands come to the heart center, extend out to the side, and bring the hands to the heart. Lift, rising up, working through the shoulder and the neck. Chin to the chest as we lower the hand down. Hands reach down, out and down, maybe on spider fingers, but we really reach low, long and low with the shoulders pulling back to the back hip pocket. Lift the chin and then rise up with the heart. Take a real lift with the heart. Really extend the heart. Heart chakra lifts as we lift with the chin, gazing up. And keep the heart lifted and move through the root, lowering the chin. Rising up. We're going to work the neck here. Just a nice little stretch to the neck and the shoulders. Release any tightness, any tension as you relax and release for the rest of our day. Beautiful strengthening, stretching, and releasing practice today. Hope you enjoyed this today. So we're just going to begin to let everything go, closing the eyes. As we come back to center, drawing the chin back, the chin's level, and we rotate the chin to one side. And then to the center with an inhale and exhale and release to the other side. Nice. Come back to center, rotate to the side once more, and then back to center and to the other side. Sorry about my music today, but maybe it's even better if you play your own music, the music of choice, and we just have the voice. That's an option too. We do that in Zoom a lot of times. We do Zoom classes where we want to do a class together and really share together. We can do a Zoom class. So I'm taking and rocking the chin down towards the chest with the ear coming over to the shoulder and releasing to the other side. This movement relaxes and stretches the neck and shoulders without creating any harm to our cervical spine. So this is freedom to move. Take the chin to the chest and then rock the chin from side to side. Nice. Any kind of movement you choose to do. All the way up with an inhale. Take the head over to the right side. Take the left arm out and ease the hand down. Extend the hand all the way down. Maybe bend in the elbow and send the hand across the back. Getting that real stretch now as we begin to release. Have 10 more minutes to relax and stretch, to prepare for our day. So maybe close the eyes and just check in with the body. How do we feel today? Do we feel strong, capable? And then we find and release the hand and lower down. Let's do the other side. Arms out. Bring the hands to the heart center. Extend and lift. Tip the head over to the other side. And let the left hand reach the crown of the head. Really lift through the spine. Reach out with the right arm and ease it down. And bring the hand behind the back. Nice. Nice lift through the spine. Pressing in the bottom hip. Really lifting tall. Using all those muscles. Up the back. To the shoulders. Easing down to the shoulders. Releasing through the neck as we tip the head over. No pulling on the head. Just lifting. Really lifting. We're stretching deep through the side of the neck. As we tip the ear over towards the shoulder. Nice. And rise up with the arms. Let's do a little thoracic spinal twist. Hands lift. Hands to heart center. Rotate over to one side. Let the hands drop in. Left hand outside the thigh. Right hand catches the hip. Rotate with the shoulders. Take the back hand and push into the mat to push us forward. Really rising up and pushing deep through the hip. The tips of the hip, called the sits bones, the ischial tuberosity, and we kind of work the chin over the shoulders. So we did a lot of work in the hip and the back today. We're doing some release to the shoulders and the neck. That's a really good thing to do with every practice. And then finding our way to the other side. Hands can come back to the heart center. We can rise up and lift up and bring the hands back to the heart center and rotate over to the other side. Right hand outside the thigh, left hand can catch the hip, extending down. So we're stabilizing with the shoulders facing to the left side. We're pushing forward with the left hand and we're rotating with the chin to let the chin finally rotate. Let the eyes lead the way as we rotate the chin over towards the shoulder. And then rotate back to center and hands on top of the thigh. We're going to come to the back. So we rotate and extend onto our back. The sun's coming out again. Thank goodness. We're soft knees. Find a little boat pose as we ease into this with the ankles hip bone distance apart. The knees are soft. We pull up really tall, lengthening through the spine. Ease back, strengthening once again through the core of our bodies. Front of the belly, from the hip girdle all the way up to the shoulders, with the shoulders pulling back and down to really strengthen that core. Lift the leg. Maybe both. Yeah, can we extend both? What do you think? Lift. Rising up with the toes. Can we lift up with a nice strong core? Boat pose, Navasana. Beautiful. Go ahead and reach for the ankles as the knees swing out. Catch those ankles. Lift up with an inhale and take a little bow as we hinge forward. We're kind of moving like a wave through the body, pushing in the bottom of the hip, lifting with the inhale, and easing forward. Hinging at the hip, really dipping with the heart reaching forward. Oh yes. Wow, that feels so good. We're getting these hips today. Hips, legs, all this work today. We're going to feel awesome today, aren't we? I sure hope so. Nice. We come up and we extend the legs. We can shake those legs out. Dandasana, and do a little forward fold. Hands to heart center. Take a little bow. Hinging at the hip. Catch that hip crease if we need. Kind of clear the sitting bones. Push through the heels. Toes come in towards the knees. Hands can slide down the thigh, maybe up to the top of the shin. Yeah. And ease forward a little deeper. I think we can go a little lower today. Let's hold this for just a moment. Keep those shoulders pulling back and flatten that back. Hands on top of the thigh and ease down. Nice. Easing down. Maybe the hands come up underneath the belly of the leg. Keep those legs pushing, the heels lengthening so the knees pull down. Get those legs to work. Yes. Dandasana into Paschimottanasana. Dandasana, staff pose, and Paschimottanasana is a nice stretch of the back of our bodies, back of the legs, all the way up through, but with stability and strength. And drop in with the heart, maybe reach with the nose to the toes. Can we reach for the feet? Can we do that without too much rounding? Let's do a little rounding and come on down. Yes. Oh yeah. Hello. Hello. Body says hello. Listening. Feels good though. Feels so good. Nice. And rise up with an inhale. Bend the knees if we need. Catch up underneath the hamstrings. And ease into a Pilates roll back. We can do a little rounding, articulating down the back as we roll down the back and down with the shoulders. Arms and legs, they fully extend. Arms and legs reach long to the two ends of the room. Hands reach overhead. Toes reach to the wall. Nice. And bring the hands by the hips and draw the right knee in. Nice. We're going to rotate into a spinal twist with the orientation of the twist with the hip and the lower part of the back. So we take the arms out to a T. Left arm's going to lift and reach to the outside of the thigh, keeping that knee up over the hips to lengthen through the spine with a neutral spine. Nice natural curve in the lower part of the back. And that left hand's going to reach for the right thigh and ease over, easing over, rotating over. Oh yes. Orientation of the twist is with the hip. Push long through the left leg. Push through the heel. Lengthen, keeping the hip rotating. Keeping the shoulders down. Relaxing the shoulders. Back and down. Take the top leg to reach if we'd like. Point the toe. Reach, reach, reach. Yes. The hips will actually stack one on top of the other. 90-degree rotation at the hip. But no discomfort in the lower part of the back. Always check in with our bodies. Keep the shoulders down. Reach and extend. Bend in the knee. And rotate back to position. Go extend the right leg. Full body stretch. Just square everything up. Shoulders lengthen. Really stretch through the spine with the arms and the legs. Hands come by the hips. The left knee comes in. Easing that left knee up over the hip. Take the arms out to the T. Check in with the back. Nice flat hip. The back of the ilium, back of the hip bones are planted and sacrum's down, tailbones pulling down. Arms out to a T and take the right arm across the left thigh. Rotate, keeping the shoulders down. Orientation of the twist is with the hip. Easing over, rotating over. If we'd like to extend the top leg, that's an option too. Stretches more down the IT band and the outside of the thigh. Outside quadriceps and hamstring muscles as we rotate. But also deep up into the hip. Getting that nice deep hip stretch. Yes, rotating through the lower part of the back into the hip. Get that full rotation, gazes up or over the left side. If we choose, we can gaze up or to the left. Shoulders are down, relaxing back and down, really stretching. Nice. and then ease bending that knee and the hips back down. Find that full body stretch once again. 3 times is a charm. Really work to stretch and release. Exhale the hands by the hips. Nice. Bring the hands to heart center. Touching our hands to our hearts with a little prayer. Honoring ourselves with a practice today, with love and compassion for ourselves. If we love ourselves, we can love others more fully and more completely. So bring the hands to the heart. Congratulations to Ty and to Julia on their anniversary. Hands come to the forehead, thinking kind thoughts always. Bring the hands to the lips, speaking kind words to ourselves and one another. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.